So just I want to show here why we need a CSS in sense. The HTML in the project we have seen, this is a what is this one, project. Okay, inside a project, so I have done a index.html is my what you can say project or a simple website. So it is running something. This is a why we need a CSS in the sense it looking good. So what if I remove CSS? Right click, inspect, and where is the CSS? See here. I will remove everything. How it looks? It's very odd. Then I will go for the a form. Background color, padding, border, walk shadow, gone. Okay. So then I will go for the footer, font family, everything I will remove. So how it looks? Very odd. So why we need a CSS? We got to know to make a good design or to look good and alignment and like a text color and margin padding and everything we are going to be discussed here. Okay, what is the margin? See, we have added a space between the this the body and this element, this body and element, the space between the element. So how it is achieved in the sense by using a CSS, or else it will show. Okay, so it will show very what you can say basic version or what you can say. See how it looks now. If I reload means automatically it will fetches, now it will fail. So this is a simple website. So if you want to work with a CSS, you have to learn the CSS. So CSS means what? The cascade style sheet, and it is to write the color, fonts, font family, font size, font weight, and margin padding and everything it is there. Okay, then how to write the CSS? Okay, CSS we already discussed in the last session also. So again we are writing the CSS in the index HTML file only, index1.html. Okay, so here the file name should be anything x.html, y.html, but the dot extension should be HTML only. Whether if you write the HTML, whether you write the CSS, whether you write for the a JavaScript. Okay, so doc document. So next, save it, then H2. The first one is what? The CSS introduction I will do. What is the CSS introduction? What is the CSS? CSS stands for the what is the CSS? It means cascading style sheet. Intro question is so why we need a CSS? They will ask. CSS is a cascading style sheet, and to write to give a style for the web pages and to good look. So we are using the CSS. Okay, where we are writing? So inside a HTML file. So then, what are the different methods to write a styles? So we already know there are three methods to write a style. So if you write a style inside a here style, the color is uh, Aqua. Save it, right click, open with the live server. So this is called a inline style. So inline style means what? So the style we are going to be right. I will use another color. So darker color, something like this. Okay. See if you want all type of colors you are what transition you want, what is the effect of color you want, you can choose here. Control S. So this is called a writing a style inside the tag called a inline style, so that is clear. Then if you want to write a style inside the HTML file with the style start and edit tag, then this is called a internal style. Okay, so what I will do, I will align a text aligner center. Okay, so this is also CSS and this is also CSS. So then we are going here. So color is applied with the inline, text align is applied with the internal. One more is like a what is that one? External CSS. So that is we are writing with the style dot like index dot css. There, the file name should be what we can say uh, CSS. Okay, so here we are going to understand the two things. So, what is the two things? Each CSS property is having a two things. This is called a property name and this is called a property value. Let's say I will take a what is the property name is. So this is called a selector. Okay. H2 is the selector and this is the property name and this is the property value. So I will take a one more selector that is the body, open close brace. I will set a background color is what? Background color is a property name and I will apply this biscuit. So this is the property value. So if I go here, so this is how it will works. What is the CSS syntax in the sense? There is a selector and this is called a property name and a property value. So you have a number of a properties. You just type here. If you want to display height, width, you have a number of properties are here. Okay, if you want to go for something, if you just go here, color, cursor, content. So these are all the property name. Okay, so this is called a CSS selector. What is a selector? H2 is a selector, body is a selector, property name, property value. So if you know, this is called a CSS. This is called a CSS syntax. Okay. Okay. So now here what happens? So what are all the different types of selector? Okay, what is a selector here? Body end is there, H2 is there. So what are all the different selectors? So we'll discuss about a H2 different. First, what we have discussed selector and one more what we have discussing H2 different types of selector. Okay, so what I will do, I will add a some horizontal HR line. HR means horizontal line. So what are the different selectors? Save it. The first what I will do, I will take a one paragraph. Okay, so I will add a dummy text. How to add a dummy text? So you already know. So LO, LO means low param. This is the dummy text it will give. Okay, or else if you just go for the internet, search for the any dummy text, then you can copy. So that is also possible. Then LOE, sorry, LOE. The first one is what? The element selector. What is the element? So as we discussed in the last session and all, so anything, see anything between the start and end tag that is called an element. Clear? So anything in between the start and end tag, so that is called an element. Okay. The first selector is what? This is the uh, element selector. Body is also one element, H2 also an element. So paragraph is also one element. Open close brace. So first we'll understand. Control S is for save. We'll see here. Okay, so it is not showing the output. So what is the mistake? So if any mistake means where to see. So right click or Control Shift I. So there are two methods you are going to be. So okay. So here they're telling that index1.html error content length mismatch or failed to load or something error is there. See. So in the console, this is called a developer tool we can say or developer console or something like that. If any error or something like that, it is going to be shown here. Okay. So what is the error and all everything. So let's close this one. So just I will delete this one. Control S. We'll go here, reload it. So here it is, the text is there. Okay, the first one is what? A different types of selectors. So that is a, the selector is a, what is this one? H4. I will use a element selector. Control S will go here. So this is called the element selector. What we are going to select here? So I will take a, the inside of browser P. I will take a open close brace. Then I will use a color, and I will take which color? Okay, this color I will take. Then I will take a text align center. Save it, run it. See, this is how it looks. So I will use something dark color here. I will use a uh, control S. Will go here. So this is a CSS. The first one is what? This is called the element selector. The next selector, we element should be anything, paragraph, div, image, pre tag or h1 tag, h6 tag, any tag. Okay. So when the tag will become an element, so now it is a tag. If you add some content inside, then it is become an element. So you got the difference. What is the tag and what is an element? If nothing is there inside here, this is called a tag. If it is a something is there, then it is called a element. Okay. The next is what? Next selector is called a ID selector. So for that, I will add a one more horizontal line. Then I will add a h2 tag, the ID selector. Same paragraph I will use. Okay. So how to use it? Same paragraph. Okay. Copy, and I will add a same paragraph I will use. If I run means what is the output? Same thing. But here it is a tag selector, but I didn't use any ID. So just I will use the ID. So how to use the ID? P ID equals to something called a XYZ. Okay. So this is called a ID selector. Now I will apply a color here. Okay, so now I will apply a color here. Okay, so how to apply a color? For the ID, so what is the ID? The ID name should be hash xyz, open close brace. See, xyz is what? Whenever the ID will come, so you have to use a hash. So here it is the ID selector. ID equal to xyz. This is a, we are going to be write a sum. Okay, so I will use a color. So dark blue, dark cyan or something like that. Dark orange I will use. Dark orange. Then text align will be center, and I will use a border 2 pixel solid blue. This is the color means the text color. Text align center means the text will be aligned in the center. Border means it is going to be center border. So we'll go here. We'll run this one. See, this is the border. Okay, so there are a first one is what? This is called the element selector, and this is the ID selector. So here, what is the border? 2 pixel is what? 2 pixel is this is the border thickness. 2 pixel. If I make a something called a 20, Control S. For save, see how it looks now. Border, this is the text, it is going to be shrinking here. Okay, low param, this is the what we can say low param colors. This is the how it is going to be work. So this is called a what we can say uh, ID selector. Why ID? So we have defined a ID equals to XYZ. So this is called the ID selector. The next is what I will use a next is a class selector. So for that I will use a one more horizontal line and I will use a H2 class selector. Okay, the class selector. Then we'll add a paragraph. Again, I will take the same paragraph. Control C and Control V. Okay, instead of this one ID, I will make a class. Class name should be ABC. Save it. We'll go here. See, by default paragraph color will be applied, but we have defined a class, but didn't assign any CSS. So for that, I will use a if it is ABC open close brace. What we have to use instead of hash here, we are using if it is a class, we have to use a dot. So this is represents a class. So for that, the color is a brown and width is a 300 pixel and border 2 pixel solid uh, dark garland or anything. Save it. We'll go here. See, we are assigning the CSS only, but there are a different selector. So these are all called the element selector. Okay. So this is also element selector. Then the ID selector. So PID XYZ. Then the class selector. So P class equals to ABC. So this is called a what we can say the different selector. Okay, so like that we have a different selector. Okay, so what I have to do? I want to give a one common font family or a one font Times New Roman or Caliber something like that. For that, there is a one more selector will come. So that is called a star. Star open close brace. See, it's irrespective of H2 tag, H4 tag, paragraph, or HR tag, anything. So it is giving the universal selector. What is a universal selector? The universal selector means, so just you will understand. Okay, I will use a, okay, I will use a uh, font family. Okay, so these are all the different forms of font family in the sense it's a design that says. So just I will use a Times New Roman. Control S. If I go here, all the text reload it. Yeah. So here what happens here? We already used the inline thing. That is why it is not applying. Star means what? It is going to be apply for all. Okay. Okay. So I will use something font family, and I will use one more thing called mm, font size double X large. Save it. See how the all text are become a double X large. Okay. Then I will use a font weight 800. Control S. If you see here, so this is how it will be there. If you just I will remove this one. Okay. I will control forward slash means comment. Control S will go here. See how the small is there. So universal means star means what? Universal selector. Irrespective of so how to uncomment? Again select and control forward slash. If you want to comment means what? Control forward slash. If you want to uncomment means control forward slash. Okay. Before that, whether you comment or uncomment, you have to select this one. Okay, clear? So universal selector means irrespective of like H2 tag or P tag or PID tag, H4 tag and P class tag. So it is going to be apply a color for this one. So this is called the selector. Okay. The next is what? Grouping the what you can say grouping the selector. So how to group the selector? See here, I have a body and paragraph. Okay, so what I will do, instead of doing like this, control X, then I will make a comma, then I will use a control Z. So background color I have applied, I will just remove this one. Control S will go here, so background color gone. So next what I will do, I will use a P comma body. So I will use a two tag. Then I will add a background color light blue. I will use control S. So got it here. Here what happens? I am using a paragraph tag also I have applied, body tag also I applied. What is the color? So this is a color. So you can pass a n number of you can pass a comma hash xyz comma dot abc like that. So you can this is called a grouping selector. Earlier I have mentioned individually. Now I have mentioned a p comma body comma something like this. Okay. So you have a H1 to H6 tag, okay? So you no need to write for H1 open close brace, H2 open close brace. Instead of that, H1 comma, H2 comma, H3 comma, like that. So you have to apply the CSS. Okay. So this is called a different types of selectors. Okay. So now, we are going to be discuss again what and all we have discussed. So first we have discussed about a selector and different types of selector, and in that first one is a element selector. What is an element? So h4 is a tag. When become an element, so anything it would between the start and end tag, that is become a tag. So then the h4 is there, then the paragraph is there. The paragraph, it is going to be, this is the paragraph. And so p we are going to be applier. So this is called a element selector. The next is what the id selector. And then we have discussed about the class selector. Then we have discussed about the universal selector. Okay, so if you know this one, so they will ask what is the selector and what are the different types selector, can you explain? So first is a question, what is a css and what are all the different types of css, can you explain? So CSS is a cascading style sheet to apply a color, height, width, margin padding, font family, font size, font type, and all. And we have a, different types of selector. Is one is a tag selector or a element selector, and a class selector, ID selector, and this one grouping a selector, universal selector. So these are all the different type of selectors. Okay, so then they will ask one more question like that. So can you tell me the how many ways we can apply the CSS? Okay, so CSS in apply the CSS in the sense So that is three ways is there. What is that one? That is called a inline and a internal and a external. Okay. So inline means what? So whatever the style I have applied inside the start tag, that is called a inline style. Internal means, so this all is called a internal style. Okay. Then what is the external? The external is a one thing. So just I'm going to be create a one file called a index.css. Then I will adding here. So just I will remove everything. Okay. I will remove, sorry, I will delete everything. Control S. If I run this, it will not show. It will show like this. So how to add external CSS? So just add a link tag relational, then add a forward slash. So here you will get the index.css. Control S. If you load here, it will apply. So all the CSS I have made it, and here I am using here. Okay. This is called a inline, and this is called a, if I write a style inside the header with a style start and end tag, this is called a internal, and this is called an external. Okay, so if you have this much idea means, so that's great. Okay, the next is what, the CSS comments. Okay, so what is the CSS? So H, so I will add a some HR and H2 CSS comments. Save it. Okay. So CSS comments is there. So what I will do, I will use I will just control X. There is a one tag is called a marquee. Okay. So then I will add a this tag. What happens? Control S and reload it. Okay. So it has to be loaded. I will use this one. Control S. See, you might see this type of a text moving. The next is the CSS comments. What is the comments? Okay, so here we are having a CSS. Okay, so I need to give the description of this one. How to do this one? So I will give the comment. What is this one? I have to give the description for this one. For that, forward slash star s- star forward slash. This is called a comment. You can write. This is a element selector. So this is the text just for giving a description about this one. Same thing, I will use a star and a star forward slash. This is a grouping selector. This is called a comments. Comments means what? It is a text. It is something called a extra information about what we are writing a code and all. So then forward slash a star. This is the element, sorry, ID selector. Then we'll add a forward slash star. This is a class selector. Okay. So what is the use? Okay. If I not mention also, then what is the use? Okay. So I have written this one. Okay. If someone new, a new learner or new developer came means he has to know what is why he mentioned. So demonstrate the element selector means, oh, this is a for element selector. Oh, he is a grouping a selector. Okay, he added a peer paragraph and body type. Oh, this is the ID selector. Oh, this is the ID selector example. Oh, this is the class selector. So like that, they will understand. If you not mention this one means, so then it is again it is easy to it is difficult to understand. So why it is necessary when you're working as a developer? So you are writing a thousands, 2,000 lines of a code. There you need to mention this comments. Okay, so this is called the CSS comments. Okay, the next is what I will take a CSS colors. Index 2.html. Okay, then document. Then we are going with the, what is this one? H2. Okay, the H2 CSS colors. Okay, first we'll understand where to get the colors and all. So just there is a one website is there. You just go here, just type the HTML colors. So you just take this one HTML colors. So if you want, you can bookmark here. So here you want to see this is the different types of colors is there. So if you want to use a dark red or a light red or anything, this type of color, all black, light black, brown or something like that. So whichever the color you want, so you are going to be used here. Okay. So how to we are using color, color name is there. Okay. Okay, so this is the what we can say the color. So then why we are discussing, just we are going to be use the color. Yeah, to apply a color there are three ways you can apply the color. Either using a color name. So what is the color name? This is the color is the yellowish. This is the color yellow is there, we know this one. But what is this one? Hexa, RGB, HSL. So I have a yellow, but I want a lighter yellow, this yellow, or this much yellow. So there it will give the color code. So this is the hexadecimal. So neither it is a pure yellow and a pure white. So it is a mixed of this one. So RGB also it will give the same thing. HSS also it will give the fraction of colors also. So if you want which color you want to use it. Yellow means whether it is a pure dark or light yellow or something. Okay, so you can take this one. Either you can use a hexadecimal, either you can use a color name or RGB or anything. So I want to apply this color. Control C. The first one is what? I will write a style here. So how to write a style inside a style? So for the H2, I want to apply a color. CO color control V. See here. Why? If you want, you can directly use the yellow as well. So this is your yellow color. But I want a lighter yellow. So I don't want a this much dark. I want a this light yellow. So either you can use the RGB value or a hex value, or else it is mixed of a black and a yellow color. So like that, I want a this much dark. Then here you will get a what you can say transition. We can see how much see background transition is there. So like that, you are going to be get the color. Right click, open with the live server. We'll close this one. See, so this is the color. So if you want to use a darker, either you can use this one. Okay, so here we have chosen HTML color. I will use this color. Control C, this color code, and I will color Control V. Control S, run it. Okay, if I just go reload it. Okay, so this is the CSS color. Either you can use a RGBA. RGB. So red, green, blue. RGB means what? It's a mixture of a base color is a red. RGB. Control V. Control S. If you go here, still color is same. Either HSL. So still same. So here, when to use this one RGB HSL, we were going to be explained. No need to worry. So standard color name is there. Okay, yellow, red, tomato, black, blue, orange, and all. So in that, whatever the thinness of the color you want, that is matters. So that is all about the colors. So here what happens? You can set the border color and the text color and everything. Okay, so that is we are going to be discuss what you can say colors. The next is what CSS backgrounds. Okay, so today we are going to be discuss this one. So just I will remove this one CSS backgrounds. Okay, the CSS backgrounds is what? Here I will go here. I will remove this one as well. I will write the style for the body. BODI, open close brace. So I have to set the background color. Uh, I will go here. I will choose a. So if you want a specific color here, so I will choose a. This is the color, or else I will use a which one? I will use this color. I will select this one. Control C. I will go. Sorry. I will go here. I will set the background color. This is the background. Control S. We will go to the browser. We'll run this one. So this is called a background color. The next is what I want to set the background image. Why it is set for whole this one? So why? Because so we have mentioning a color for a whole body. The next is what background image. See, you no need to remember all the tags. You just have a remember us. So it is difficult to initial this as you work on. So you will get all the tags in the mind. BAC background image. Then you have to type a URL. Your URL means that is the path. So as I told you, you have a free images. You want a free images, you just go for the Pixabay images. So Pixabay is a one website, it will give you the free images. So I will use this one. Right click, inspect. So you have to search for the free nature images. Okay. Because some are the paid will be there, so then you are not able to get it this one. So I will take right click, inspect. Right click, inspect. Okay, so if you not get also, you can just right click, save image. Where is my folder? My folder is now in the CSS. So I will use a IMG. That's it. So just I will go here. I will just add a forward slash img.jpg. Control S will go to the my code editor. So this is how it will be there. Okay, so this is the large image is there. So what if I small images? So I will what I will do, I will just minimize this image. So where is my CSS, or else I will use this file only. Where is my file? I will just go here in the HTML images. I will just use a copy Virat, and I will add here. Control V. Okay, so I will, instead of img, delete, double quote, forward slash virat.jpg, control S, and C. So this is the what I have used the background image for the body, and here it is the text is there, but it is repeating. It should not be repeated. So how to do this one? If you don't want to repeat this one means, so just you have to use the background repeat. So you no need to see background is the common. If you just type a three letters, then type a REP. See, automatically it will come here background repeat. So then no repeat. Control S will go here. See, it will how it will set. Okay, so this is called a background. But I want to set for whole screen means how to do, right click. So just we need to set the height and width. Okay. So just I will take this viewpoint. So what I will do, that's okay. The image I need to allow make a elaborate. Okay. The next is what that is called the opacity. Opacity 0.3. Control S will go here. We'll close this one. Okay. So right click, inspect. So there it is not going to be a apply opacity. So how to set the opacity? Okay. So we will discuss in the later. Okay. Here what happens? Uh, we have set the opacity means what? That is the darkness of this one. Okay. If you want to see the what is the opacity? So opacity in the sense it is going to be darkness of the text or something like this. So this is the H2 is there. Okay. So what I will do, a style, the color will be white. Control S, save it. So what is the opacity in the sense? Right click, inspect. I will just show here. Opacity 0.1. See, are you able to visible here? But here it is the text will be there. So just I will change to opacity 2, opacity 3, sorry, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now the text will be visible. Got it? If I use a opacity 1, it is not visible. But here it is the text is there. If I use a opacity 9, then the text will be visible here. So opacity means the transparency of your what we can say the text or image or anything. Okay. So if you want to set all those things means all those things just use a shortened property. I don't want to use the background color or something like that. If you just use a background also. Okay, so that is the shorthand property. So we got to know how to apply the CSS and everything. Okay, so what and all we have discussed today means, so that is just we are recapping. Okay, so just I will take a note, sticky note we will take. Okay, the first one is what? Mm, the what is the CSS we have studied? Okay, then the CSS syntax. Okay, CSS syntax is for and a CSS selector. What is the select? See, what is the CSS first? CSS is a cascading style sheet. And what is the CSS syntax? Syntax in the sense. So there is a tag name and a property that is called a selector and a property name and a property value. Then the CSS selector is what are the different types of selector? There is a tag selector, ID selector, class selector, group selector, and universal selector. If you keep in mind means that's clear. Okay. Then we have seen about the comments. Why we need a comments? So comments to give the extra information about your code. And next will be colors. What is the colors? So there are three colors will be like red, blue, black, orange, and everything. But you want to add some colors is like a thinness of the color or something like that. So just you are going with the colors. So what is the website for that one? If you just go for the HTML color search in the internet HTML colors, then you will get the tag name. Here this is the website. Then if you click here you will get the HTML colors. So here you can choose the color, whichever the color you want. If you want to set a background color, this one, if you just select this one, or else this one, or else this one. Okay, so there you can go with a hexadecimal value, or else you can go with a RGB value. RGB means it is a mixture of red, green, blue, and HSL is a one more value. So if you don't need to worry, so just you have an idea about it. There are three ways we can apply the color by using the color name, the hexadecimal value, RGB value, HSL value, and what is the difference and all. So we are going to be discussing the coming session. No worries. Okay. The next is what we have discussed the colors. Then we have discussed about the background. Okay. So that is called a CSS background. What is the CSS? Sorry, CSS background. What is the CSS background will do? So we can apply the background image, and it is repeating means background repeat, no repeat, and a background attachment is there, background shorthand is there. So this is all about is there. Okay. So if you have a clear this picture, today's uh, session is clear. So whatever I told, if you just remember that one, you can clear the interview. You no need to do extra effort. Okay. So this is all about today's session. So tomorrow we are going with the more important topics. Please don't miss the